Thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die. I woke up feeling like I was floating. The poison didn't work. A deep sleep is not death. What I wanted was death. Juliet. Oh, my sweet Juliet, please. What have you done? What have I done? Please do not take her from me! Ignore me not! This feels all wrong. This is not how it's written.
According to psychologist James Alcott, magical thinking is the process by which individuals explore what is thinking in the world. Those who practice magical thinking seek to suspend reality and literally believe impossible into possible. Playwright Ben Roberts takes this approach with the classic tragedy Romeo and Juliet, extending conventional fiction past the realms of its original intent, exploring what if? After Juliet by Ben Roberts.
I left Verona with the ghost of my love on my back. I remember walking the cobblestone roads of Verona in the middle of the night, but I traded them for the bright paved streets of New York. I spent so much of my time alone, just a little quiz. I was talking to myself. Time passes. I meet people. They come and go. I change, but one thing remains. Memory of her. I remember the first time I saw her. Did my heart love till now? For swear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night. I go to clubs and bars, and I scan the room for her face, her smile, her light. She's never there. So I settle for girls in micro skirts and high heels, girls who laugh at my jokes and cry when I tell them the story of my best friend's death. Oh, you poor baby, to see Mercutio. Right. To see him die right in front of you. Oh, you poor baby. I sleep with them to fill the hole in my heart. Although, it never works. I go to bed with the girl in my bed, and I dream of Juliet. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. Rome? Why are you talking so funny? What? Nothing, I'm just go back to bed. Actually, I think I'm gonna go. Even better. I spend most of my time at the bar down the street from my apartment. Place called Hamlet's. I'm there telling this girl about my wonderful dead girlfriend, because that usually gets me, laid. And then she says, oh my god, like star-crossed lovers and shit. Star what? Like Romeo and Juliet. That sounds exactly like Romeo and Juliet. Wait. You know Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is only the greatest love story of all time. Haven't you ever read the play? I leap from my seat and I run from the bar. I find a little bookstore that's still open. I need a copy of Romeo and Juliet. Not Romeo. Romeo and Juliet. We're categorized by a last name of author, so go to S's and look for Shakespeare. Who's Shakespeare? She gives me this look that all you women have, programmed into your faces. It's incredible, really. Funny. S's are that way. I find Romeo and Juliet. The cover has a picture on front of two disgustingly beautiful young people. I can't believe how much it looks like Juliet and me.
We're closing soon, so this is my story. I mean, it's mine. Sure, for $7.95.
I walk home. My head's stuck in the story of my love life. And by the time I get to my apartment, I'm almost finished. And it's so accurate. Up until... I was supposed to die. I knew. Mark, open up, please! I pound on the door of my next door neighbor. Rome? What are you doing? Where'd you go tonight? Mark, listen to me. I'm supposed to die. I'm not supposed to live without her. I knew I was supposed to die. Rome. Just stop. Just shut up and listen to me for a sec. I know I don't know the whole story, but, from what I do know, I can tell you loved each other. And I think she'd want you to live. She'd want you to live your life, Rome, so go live your life. And stop being such a girl. Look, Rome, she's everywhere you are. She's the stars, the sky. She's the sun. What did you say? She's the sun? Yes. I'm going back to Hamlet's. Thanks, Mark. I sit at the bar. My own story in front of me. The words are mine. The hurt is mine. Or wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? Death that hath sucked thy honey from my breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. I sit there for an hour, speaking old words loud, being emo. Yes, emo. Everyone leaves me alone. Only the bartender talks, and that's only ask, "Hey, buddy, need another drink?" Tempt not a desperate man. And then the guy next to me puts down his drink. You've been quoting Romeo and Juliet all night. I'm assuming you're familiar with the play? You have no idea. I'm actually running a year-long production of Romeo and Juliet, and I was wondering if you'd be interested. And suddenly it's opening night. I'm playing the role of, well, myself. And my Juliet is played by a girl named Janet. She lets me call her Jules. She's beautiful. She's funny and sweet and reminds me so much of Juliet. She tells me that her favorite part of the show is the balcony scene. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. But I don't tell her my favorite part. Because my favorite part comes at the end of the show. When the curtains close and I open my eyes and I look at her, lying still on our deathbed. And then she gets up.
Put your hand on your ribs. Deeper. Good. Breathe. How does that feel?
Like I'm full of hot air.
Isn't that what public speaking is all about? For today I want to start by loosening the jaw. Good. Good morning, Bertie. We'll begin by doing little bounces. Make sure you relax your shoulders. Ah, there you are. Come in. Now, repeat after me. Jack and Jill
Jack and Jill
went up the hill.
went up the hill.
Good, now, together. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Are you ready? I am a thistle sifter. I have a sieve of sifted thistles and a sieve of unsifted thistles, because I am a thistle sifter. Forget everything else and just say it to me. Say it to me as a friend. As Winston Churchill once said, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen.
According to the British Stammerers Association, 1 in every 100 people stammer, causing fear and panic when forced to speak.
In pre-war England, the power of the radio was at its zenith, and the world needed to hear reassurances that evil could be defeated and peace would prevail. Those reassurances could only come from the king.
How does one tell a king he must...
Listen.
Before he can speak.
David Seidler's screenplay chronicles the inverse relationship between a would-be king and the man who commands him to listen.
Allowing us to consider the value of voice and its power when joined with purpose.
The King's Speech.
By David Seidler. In this grave hour, perhaps the most fateful in our history, I send to every household of peoples, both at home and overseas, this message, spoken with the same depth of feeling as if I were to cross your threshold and speak to you myself.
Why are you here?
Because I bloody well stammer.
When did the defect start?
4 or 5.
That's typical.
So I've been told. I can't remember not doing it.
How about when you talk to yourself? Everyone natters occasionally, Bertie.
Don't call me that.
I'm not going to call you anything else. So, Bertie, when you talk to yourself, do you stammer?
Of course not.
Thus proving your impediment isn't a permanent part of you. What do you think was the cause?
I don't know. I don't care. I stammer and no one can fix it. For the second time in the lives of most of us, we are at war. Over and over again, we have tried to find a peaceful way out of the differences between ourselves and those who are now our enemies. But it has been in vain. We have been forced into a conflict.
What is it about David that stops you speaking?
What the bloody hell is it that makes you bloody well want to go on about David?
Vulgar but fluent. You don't stammer when you swear.
Bugger off.
Is that the best you can do?
Shit then. Shit.
See how defecation flows trippingly from the tongue?
Because I'm angry.
Ah. Know the F word?
Fornication.
Bertie.
Fuck. Fuckity fuck.
Yes.
Bugger.
You see?
Bugger.
Not a
Bugger.
hesitation.
Bleed beastly bastard of bust, ass and tits.
Well, that's a side of you we don't get to see that often. What's wrong?
My brother is infatuated with a woman who's been married twice.
Can he do that?
Absolutely not. But he's going to anyway. All hell's broken loose.
Where does that leave you?
I know my place. I'll do anything within my power to keep David on the throne.
Has it come to that? But the way things are going, your place may be on the throne.
Don't take liberties. That's bordering on treason.
I'm just saying, you could be king. You could do it.
That is treason.
I'm trying to get you to realize you need not be governed by fear.
I've had enough of this.
What are you afraid of?
For we are called with our allies to meet the challenge of a principle which, if we're to prevail, would be fatal to any civilized order in the world. Such a principle, stripped of all disguise, is surely the mere primitive doctrine that might is right. For the sake of all that we ourselves hold dear, and for the world's peace and order, it is unthinkable that we should refuse to meet the challenge.
I'm a thistle sifter, I'm a thistle sifter, I'm a thistle sifter. Let's get cracking.
I'm not here to rehearse doctor-logue. True. You never called yourself doctor. I did that for you. No diploma, no training, no qualifications, just a great deal of nerve.
It's true, I'm not a doctor. I taught elocution in schools. When the Great War came, our boys were pouring back from the front, shell-shocked and unable to speak. And somebody said to me, "Lionel, you're very good with all this speech stuff. Do you think you could possibly help these poor buggers?" I did muscle therapy, exercise, relaxation, but I knew I had to go deeper. Those poor young blokes had cried out in fear, and no one was listening to them. My job was to give them faith in their voice, and to let them know that a friend was listening. That must ring a few bells with you, Bertie.
You give a very noble account of yourself.
Lock me in the tower.
I would if I could.
On what charge?
Fraud. With war looming, you sailed this nation with a voiceless king. It'll be like Mad King George III. There'll be Mad King George the Stammerer, who let his people down in the hour. What are you doing? Get up, you can't sit there!
Why not? It's a chair.
That's St. Edward's chair!
People have carved their names into it.
That chair's the seat on which every king
It's
and queen
held in
has
place
sat.
by a large rock.
That's the sort of scorn you're trivializing
I
everything.
don't care. I don't care how many royal assholes have sat
Listen
in
to
this
me!
chair. Listen to you? By what right?
You mine right if you must, I am your king!
No, you're not. Told me so yourself. Said you didn't want it. So why should I waste my time listening to you?
Because I have a right to be heard.
Heard as what?
A man, I have a voice!
Yes, you do. You have such perseverance, Bertie. You're the bravest man I know. You'll make a bloody good king.
It is this high purpose that I now call my people at home, and my peoples across the sea, who will make our cause their own. I ask them to stand calm and firm and united in this time of trial.
Bertie, you can do it.
The task will be hard.
I'm trying to get you to realize you need not be governed by fear.
There may be dark days ahead, but war can no longer be confined to the battlefield.
Your place is on the throne.
But we must do right as we see right, and reverently commit our cause to God. And if one and all we stay resolutely faithful to it, then, with God's help, we shall prevail.
Your first wartime speech. Congratulations.
Expect I shall have a great deal more. Thank you, my friend.